So why apartments as an asset class versus commercial versus single family homes versus, high rises, whatever?
So the why on that and the power of that is we're buying deals and hiring professional management companies. When you buy like 60 units and up, you get economies of scale, you get non-recourse debt instead of recourse debt, which is, do you want to have personal liability or no personal liability? Do you want to have to qualify for the loan based on your personal income and credit or based on the income of the business? Okay, so there's a lot of advantages of buying 60 unit and up apartment buildings. Now, some of these aren't unique to apartments. They might be also, the same with, say, other commercial. But then when you look at commercial, like if you look at COVID, a lot of hotels got decimated, retail got decimated, apartments did amazing. Okay, people always need a place to live. And if you look at like a 100-unit apartment building, if your vacancy goes from 95% to 85%, you can lose 10 tenants and still cash flow. But if you have a commercial building, you either have one tenant or zero tenants. And usually that one tenant is going to do tenant improvements and make it somewhat customized to their business. And if they have to move out or go bankrupt, then you have a 100% vacancy that probably needs a lot more tenant improvements or modifications to get another tenant. Unless you can rent it to another, like if you had a restaurant, maybe you could, if let's say I had a quick service restaurant that went out of business, I'm going to need to rent it to another quick service restaurant, or they're going to have to spend a lot of money modifying it. Okay.
Sure.
So
of course, the flip side of that, right, is that those tenants, once they've sunk that money in, they've got a 3, 5, 10, 15-year lease, right? And then you have one tenant that, as long as their business is there and you underwrote the business effectively, it's a long-term tenant, right? So that's what the retail center owner would pitch, right? That's the thing that they lean on. And what you said that I think is relevant is that answers that almost directly is, but I don't manage the apartment building. I have a professional management company that does it and handles that side of it.
Commercial leases tend to be longer term and they have escalating clauses like, well, the rent will go up 3% a year or whatever. Okay. Well, in residential multifamily, the leases are a year or 6 months. And so when you're in an inflationary market like we are now, Brad, you don't want to be tied into a long-term lease because we want to be able to be pivoting. And as the market demand as the demand is increasing and the supply is decreasing, like we're raising rents 20, 30% without doing any capital improvements. And so we have the ability, especially now, like during an inflationary market where these are 6 month to 1 year leases. And so we're able to raise rents, and apartments are a great hedge against inflation because the more they print money and the higher the rents go up, the more we can charge for rent and the more our value goes up as well, because apartments are valued by income.